Hi there, good morning. It's Monday, and I am Jill Wener, one of the co-founders of Transformed, and I'm here to talk to you about self-limiting beliefs. So we talk about this a lot in Transformed. We kind of advertise that as one of the amazing parts of our curriculum, but you might not know what a self-limiting belief is or how it's holding you back. And so I'd like to talk to you today a little bit about that. What is a self-limiting belief? So as we go through our lives, we pick up these beliefs about ourselves, about our life, based on the experiences that we have. A teacher gets mad at you one time for speaking up, for speaking out of turn in class, or for, someone makes fun of you one time for something that you wear. And then that puts some neuronal connection in your brain that stays with you for your life. And it seems like the silliest thing, but these habits stay with us. Or if you think about someone who may have been abused as a child and they swear they will never ever do that to anybody, and then they end up abusing people themselves, or someone who was married to someone who was abusive and they swear they'll never do that again, and then they find themselves with someone abusive again and again. Now, this isn't saying it's that person's fault or that they deserve it or anything like that. There's no blame. This is just what we get exposed to in our lives. It causes these stresses these stress memories that stay with us, but they also form these connections in our brain that make us think a certain way. I'll never find a partner who respects me. I'll never be able to make enough money. I'll never be able to have control over my job or my career. So these are all sorts of examples of self-limiting beliefs. And for the most part, they're subconscious. They're subconscious. And so we don't realize that we are holding ourselves back, and then we become our own worst enemy. So I'd like to do a quick exercise with you that is an example of something that we'll be doing, some of the work we'll be doing at Transform, but what we do at Transform really is a lot more intensive and beneficial. But if you can take one, pause this right now if you can, and take one thing that you say about yourself. My boss will never listen to me. I want to start a new program at work, but there's no way I'll ever find the time. Or maybe it's a personal thing. Maybe it's, my husband never listens to me, and I'll never be able to do something because he won't approve. Something like that. And now I want you to ask yourself two questions. The first question is, what is the downside of having what I want? And the second question, yes, the downside of getting what you want. And the second question is, what is the benefit of not having what I want? So yes, I am saying this correctly. So you want to probe inside yourself. You want to take some time, pause this recording, get a journal or a piece of paper, and you want to say, what is it that I am secretly, subconsciously continuing by not having what I want? How am I benefiting from not getting that? Maybe that's a story that you're telling yourself. Maybe it's, you don't have to stretch yourself to your limit because you can use something else as an excuse. Maybe it gives you an excuse to not grow, or maybe you really just like having that story as an excuse for not being happy because that's what you know. So what's the downside of having what I want? What is the benefit of not having what I want? And so one thing, for an example of that, I want to start a new program at work, but there's no way I'll ever find the time. So the downside of getting what you want is maybe you have to, so getting what you want would be the time to start a new program. You have to say no to some other things that you're currently doing. You have to set boundaries. You have to stand up for yourself to your boss and change the status quo. You have to, you may have to work harder, and maybe you don't want to work harder if you have to add something in addition in order to get that extra time at work. A benefit of not having what you want is that you can say, oh, I would be doing this, but but my boss won't let me do it. So it's not my fault. My boss won't let me. It's my boss's fault. It's my work's fault. I'm too busy. And then you get to perpetuate this self-limiting belief of I'm too busy, and not have to take the personal responsibility for making the changes in your life that you want. So take some time to do this. This is a really eye-opening activity. You have to be open to the secret ways that you are holding yourself back. So knowing, oh, okay, this is something that you have to almost be willing to poke fun at yourself a little bit, or not take yourself so seriously. So these are downsides of having what you want, or benefits of not having what you want. So you'll realize soon that these aren't actually good things about not having what you want, but you'll realize, oh my gosh, I'm holding myself back and don't even realize it. I'm so stressed about not having enough time that I don't even enjoy the time off that I do have. So that's the way that I'm holding myself back. Like, I don't even realize that I'm telling myself these things and ruining the time that I do have. So anyway, do these 2 questions. I'd love to hear your comments on how it goes. If there's anything surprising that you weren't expecting, or anything that you discovered about yourself. And I would love to talk with you more about this if you have any other questions. And we'll be doing a lot of this work at Transformed, because you can set all the goals you want for your life, but if you don't examine deep within yourself the things that are holding you back, and you are often responsible for those things. Again, it's not blame, it's not anything, it's not your fault, but there are things that you can do. It's so empowering to realize these self-limiting beliefs that we have. We're going to give you the tools to transform, to actually do something about them and to take action, and some actual techniques on how to clear out these self-limiting beliefs so that they aren't holding you back anymore. So if that sounds interesting to you, you're intrigued, reach out, do this activity, leave some comments about what you discovered, and come join us at Transformed. Registration is open for just a few more weeks. We have just a few more spots left. It's at www.transformed.org, TRANSFORMD. In addition to self-limiting beliefs, we're going to be talking about meditation. We're going to give you an incredible self-sufficient meditation practice that you're going to take home with you. You'll be meditating like a pro in no time. We'll be doing some incredible workshops with you on discovering your truest values, and then how to align those with your own professional and personal lives. We'll be doing some mindful eating exercises and some exercises on setting goals, and also, again, these self-limiting beliefs. We're going to have about 1 session each day of the 4-day retreat addressing self-limiting beliefs, so that you are really going to get a head start getting all your goals met by the time you leave the retreat. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this activity.